You gotta get your dance on! Wants to rule the world. Do you guys love 80s music? Oh my gosh, I love it. I have to drink some more. Make sure you guys are drinking water. Whew. It's one of the best, I don't want to say diet tips, but it's one of the best, most healthiest things that you can do for your body is to drink water. Just keep your body like super hydrated. All right, you guys, I am going to talk today about a subject that's kind of a little emotional for me. You're like, Kita, what's not emotional for you? Oh my gosh, I just cannot stop drinking water, you guys. It's literally so hot here. Whew. I never thought I would be living in a desert. But that brings me to this vlog. Do you guys love my combed hair? Is it just so, isn't it just like luscious and just gorgeous? The thing of it is so much is solved with a baseball hat, sunglasses, and a fun pair of earrings. I mean, who's looking at the ratty-tat-tat hair? Oh my gosh. By the way, I just want to say, leave some comments below. Let me know if you have ratty-tat-tat hair and what is your secret for just getting up and getting out and getting to the gym. That's my secret. So you guys, today's vlog is called Time Machine. My 4th of July time machine, and it's a little bit sad, but I hope it helps one person maybe get through a difficult situation that they might be going through right now. Who knows if this will help you. I know this is honestly, I mean, this is what I did, and in this moment it really helped me. So I'm gonna call this vlog is called the 4th of July time machine, and you all are welcome to utilize my time machine whenever you want. So here's the time machine. So I was in college, I was in a sorority, and I had no financial support from my family at all, because I was legally emancipated when I was in college, so that I could get help, financial help. I needed to be able to declare that. So I was legally emancipated when I think I was 17 when I was a freshman, because I needed to put myself through school, and I had no financial help at all. So I was working like literally, I think I had like 3 or 4 jobs. I was always shuffling jobs, and one of my jobs was a waitress, and I don't even know if anyone, shout out to anyone in Bloomington, Indiana, but my waitressing job was at a resort on a lake. I want to say Lake Monroe. Gosh, this has been like 20 years. I'm totally dating myself. And I want to say it started with an S. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's a resort on Lake Monroe. And when I say resort, it was like a restaurant. But for other people that had homes and stuff on Lake Monroe, it was kind of like a hot spot for people to go get drinks and food and stuff. Anyways, I was a waitress there, and this is a really funny story. I'll try to tell this really quick. Right before I got this waitressing job, I had no car. If you guys kind of follow along, you know that I had to ride my bike everywhere. So everyone's like, oh, you have such great legs and great butt. Well, the reasons were because I rode everywhere. I had to literally walk everywhere, run everywhere, or ride my bike everywhere. And so that's that's what I did. And this Lake Monroe, though, this was like, I want to say it was like a half-hour drive from campus. So there's no way I could bike it. It would have taken me like an hour or 2 hours to bike there. So I'd been saving up all my waitressing money, and I had enough money to buy a car. So I bought a Nissan 200SX, and at that time the car was, I want to say it was probably like 5 years old. It was not a new car by any stretch of the imagination. It was dark sapphire blue with black tinted windows. All the windows were tinted. And I bought the car from a Japanese guy that was finishing law school, and he had bought the car at the beginning of his law school, and he was graduating, and so he was selling all of his stuff to go back to Japan. And he was so cute. He put the ad in, and I responded to the ad, and he was a really nice guy, and he loves, because Kita means north in Japanese, so it was funny because he was like, here shows up this Swedish girl with blonde hair, you know, tall blonde girl. And he was really sweet anyway. He said, he was telling me about his car, and he had all the records for the car and everything. I could just tell he was a really good guy. And I just go on my instincts. I always have gone on my instincts. I always let my angels lead me. It's just the way I've always been. And, so I went to his house and looked at the car, and it was so funny. The car was in his garage, and it had the most amazing amp and woofer. Like, this woofer system took the entire backseat, like, trunk of this car. Like, it was an old school, like, and when I say big, I'm saying that this thing took up the entire trunk of the car. It was so loud, and I love music. If any of you guys know me, like, if you guys have watched the one vlog, like, I gave up medicine to get music because I thought the music would heal me. I mean, I'm just really, really tapped into music. So anyway, it's funny because I said to him, oh my gosh, I'm so excited, because he's telling me all about his sound system. And so I got in the car. I didn't even want to drive it. Got in the car, and I just turned the ignition on, and the music was gorgeous. It was so loud. It was like booming. It was like amazing. And of course I brought my music that I was going to be playing in the car. And so I got out of the car, and okay, great. I go, we negotiated the price. I don't remember what the price was, but it was very fair. And I got him down a little bit, and I you know, was paying him, and he looked at me, and he was like, had this shocked look on his face, and I was like, what's wrong? And like, I was clueless as to why he was looking at me. Like, literally looked at me like horrified, like he was just horrified. And I thought, oh gosh, maybe I got him down too low in price, and he's not feeling good about the transaction. And I'm just continuing to count out my little money that I had in a little ball in my sock. And then I thought, well, maybe he's mortified because of the where I'm keeping my money. But anyway, no, it wasn't any of that stuff. He said to me, he goes, don't you want to drive the car? And so it was so funny. I mean, duh, right? Like, are you gonna like, of course, right? I mean, are you gonna are you going to I'll just sit here and chat with you guys. Are you I'm at my gym. Are you going to don't you want to drive the car? And it was so funny. I was like, I didn't need to drive the car. I don't know, something, I just knew the car was gonna be okay. So I ended up buying the car. The car was amazing. I never had one problem with the car. In fact, I ended up driving that car for years afterwards. And I remember when my grandfather died. And I remember getting the phone call, and it was like blizzard, whiteout conditions, no one was driving anywhere. And I got in that car, and I drove all the way to India. I don't even know how I got home. I did like 360s on the highway. It was so bad. You couldn't even see the end of your car, and I just had my hands on the steering wheel. And literally when I got home, I had, from gripping the steering wheel, I had like marks from my nails. But anyway, I got back to see my grandfather, and the car died in my brother's driveway. But anyway, it's a really cool story. But that's not the time machine story. The time machine story is this. I had this job waitressing, and these people were so amazing there. I loved Rick. I remember my manager's name. His name was Rick, and he had me scheduled for a double. So if you guys know waitressing, a double means you work one shift, and then you usually will take a break, and then you go into another shift. So he had scheduled me for a double because it was 4th of July, and it's always a really, really crazy busy weekend there, right? So here I am waitressing. I worked a double, and I'm so exhausted at the end of the double. I'm just like exhausted because I'm putting my whole personality in. I'm just trying to have like a great day. And oh, by the way, my double was first thing in the morning, so I did all opening, and then I was gonna get off like around 4, which was awesome because I love 4th of July and Christmas are my like two favorite holidays. So anyway, I'm working, and I'm just literally getting like table after table of like 12 tops and 16 tops and 22 tops, like just huge parties that just like one table would be enough for most people, and I was getting like 2, 3, and 4. It was just a mess. And he ended up having people quit that day, and it was like he was down on waitresses, and he came to me and he goes, I do not know how to ask you this. Rick said, but I need you to do a triple. I need you to do another shift. So I was like, you know, I really needed the money, and so I was like, okay, I'll do it. I just thought, you know what, I'll do it. So I just figured to myself, and here comes the time machine, I figured to myself, you know what, I really need this money, and this could really help with my books, and could just really, really help me set me up for the summer, because what I would have to do then is I'd have to work the summer, and I'd have to work so hard in the summer that I'd have enough money to go back to school the next year. So it was like I really needed the money to help me, because that summer my sister and I were going to go to Chicago and live in Chicago, so I wanted to have enough money to go to Chicago. So anyway, I'm working now a triple, and I'm getting to, it's like around 12:30 midnight, and so now I've already been working, I want to say it was like almost 14 or 15 hours, and it was like just crazy, right? And I don't know, I'm not adding the numbers, I just know it was a long time. Don't quote me on the hours. It was just a very, very long time. I was exhausted, and I got this table, and this lady was sitting at the table, and she was out of her effing gourd, you guys. Freaking, because you know I don't cuss, right? It's freaking gourd. She's cussing at me. She's cussing at everybody at the table. She's just that drunk person that you know who I'm talking about, just obnoxious. She spit on me. She was cussing me out. It was like for no reason. And I looked at her husband, and her husband was like so apologetic. He was so sorry. He's like, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna totally make it up to you. I'm gonna give you a great tip. And at that point I was like, F that. I don't even want a tip. This lady was so rude to me. It was unbelievable. But I am not a complainer. I'm just like, you know, duck dive, get into it, get out. Well, anyway, one of the other waitresses overheard and saw this lady spit on me, so she talked to the manager. The manager came over to me, and he was like, I guess she was some big hubbub. She was like some major deal, so they couldn't kick her out. But he was like, I'm so sorry. I will switch out and put someone else on the table. I was like, oh, no, I got this. Don't worry. And anyway, then it got back to the cooks. Well, the cooks and I were like this. The cooks and the dishwasher, I've always been like this. Any job I've ever had as a waitress, I'm like, I don't know, I just, you know, I'm a tomboy, so I'm always like, I don't know, I'm just not, I've never been like prissy, so I've always like, I love hardworking people. I love hard workers. We've just always been able, I just respect that, and I was a hard worker. So anyway, these guys in the back, they were so sweet, the cooks, they were like, Kita, come back here. And I was like, what? They're like, listen, we heard there's, you know, somebody's giving you a rough time. They're like, they used to call me Sunshine Kid, like the cooks call me Sunshine Kid. And they're like, nobody messes with our Sunshine Kid. And I was like, oh my gosh, you know, thank you so much. And I literally started buying. I was like, in the cook, in the well back there, I was like hugging him. I was like, thank you, that's all I needed. So anyway, the guy's like, listen, we're gonna put some special sauce in those nachos. And I go, what special sauce? I was so naive. I was like, what special sauce? They're like, you don't worry about it. When you serve up these nachos, I want you to serve them with a smile. I was like, no, you guys can't do that. That's like, you're gonna get in trouble, you're gonna get fired, you're gonna lose your job. You cannot do that. So they're like, okay, you know, no, we won't. But, you know, in the future, just know we can always do the special sauce. So anyway, my orders came up. I served all their food. I gave her her food. She sat there shoveling in her nachos. She was just so mean to me. It was just like awful. She was like, she just was a nightmare of a lady, just nightmare. She took her water, and the last straw, this is where the time machine comes in, and she literally tossed her water on me. All right, I'm going over. So she tossed her water on me, and I was like, I can't believe she did this. Like, how could she toss her water on me like that, right? So anyway, I was mortified. So she dumped all this water, like, went all over my chest. And at that point, I just had it. So I went up to Rick, and I said, I can't do this anymore. I'm literally, I think I'm about to go, I'm going to lose it. So he's like, go take a break. So here's my time story, you guys. My time machine. I walk outside. The stars are filled in the sky. Just filled in the sky. And I looked up at the stars and I said, dear God, if you are real, and I know you are because you've protected me my whole life, I ask you right now to bring in joy that I will be feeling in a future 4th of July. I know one day in my future, I'm gonna have a happy marriage, a happy life, everything's gonna be good, my finances are gonna be good, and I wanna borrow 4 minutes from my future, because I was literally, you guys, I was at a point, this lady had made me feel so low as like a human being. I said to myself, number one, I would never, ever, ever be with anybody that would treat waitstaff that way. Number two, I would never, ever, 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 disrespect a service person ever, because it literally, you know, it was just, I was tired, I was hungry, it was all these things, but I was literally at a breaking point. And I looked up at the stars, and as soon as I said that prayer, the biggest shooting star went over the sky. It was so big, I almost thought it was a firework. But then I realized it wasn't a firework, because the fireworks were all going on like to the right side, and I was over on the left side, kind of like underneath kind of the deck area where the restaurant was. I was like literally, I just needed some time. And I looked up and I saw this beautiful shooting star, and I felt my soul become restored. I felt my whole body, mind, and spirit just immediately, just, it was like that. I just became so refreshed, and I just knew, I knew in that moment that it was God, it was my angels. They had fully restored me. So every 4th of July, I always have one moment where I spend like 4 minutes in complete silence and I just pray. Sorry, you guys, I'm just like the biggest baby right now. And I just pray and I just say, God, if there is anyone out there, oh my gosh, if there is anyone out there that is suffering, if there is anybody out there that is having a difficult moment, if there's anybody out there that is sad, if there is anybody out there that needs protection, if there's anybody out there that needs love, if there's anybody out there that needs restoration, please, Lord, fill them this 4th of July, protect them and be with them. And then what I did, I just literally, I was amazed with how I was restored. I'll never forget this moment. Just the shooting star, just the exact complete, it was like God gave me 8 hours of sleep, restored me. I went back up to the kitchen and they thought I had left, and he wouldn't have blamed me, because I mean, it was literally like, it was such a long day. At this point, it was almost like, I want to say 2 o'clock in the morning. It was already the last call, but there was literally like 60 people still there. And the manager said to me, I'll never forget, Rick said to me, he said, what are you doing here? He goes, we thought you left. And I said, no, I needed to reboot, but I'm ready to go. And I literally worked, I finished my shift, I did the close, and I literally, when I drove back home to my sorority, the sun started to come up. It was like, and I had the biggest smile on my face, and I was like, I remember thinking like, wow, my my future must be really amazing. It must be so amazing, because those 4 minutes that God gave me to just refresh me were so powerful and so strong that I just literally thought like, wow, God is good. Not only is he good, but my future must be amazing. So I just want to get this vlog out there, because I want, if anybody's going through any pain, any hurt, any angst, just jump into my time machine, my 4th of July time machine, create your own time machine, and whatever source is your source of power, go to that source. For me, it's God and Jesus. And to me, I just have such that intimate connection that he always fills me. He always has been faithful to me. But I want anyone out there who just needs to have gentle loving. I just want your soul to feel that. So today I want to end a little bit differently. I want to go ahead and just close in prayer. I'm just going to let the Holy Spirit just guide me. So dear Heavenly Father, just come before you, Lord, and I just ask that who is ever watching this video and has watched this far, please bless them. And Lord, even if they started this video and they stopped watching it and watched the whole thing, please find that person. Even if they didn't watch the whole thing, seek them out. Put your loving arms around them. Just kiss their forehead, their eyes, their shoulders, their back. Bring them strength. Bring them strength in their feet. Bring them strength in their hands and their body. Bring them love in their heart. Bring them passion. Protect their family, their husband, their spouse, their wife, their children. Bring them restoration. Bring them financial stability. Bring them a harmonious family. Allow them, Lord, to just be connected in such an integrous, deep way. Allow them to feel passion and motivation and inspiration. Just allow their heart to feel completely lifted and completely happy. Just this sense of happiness and hope and love, Lord. I just ask that you bring all of these things in your Son's name. Amen. Amen. All right, you guys, this was a longer vlog than I normally do, but it was worth it. It was really worth it. Please like and subscribe. Share this with anyone that you know might be able to benefit this. Anybody that's going through a really, really tough situation. I have this channel. It's completely dedicated to women. My whole thing is champions for women. Champions for women. That's who I am, and that's what this channel is dedicated to, is the empowerment and support of women all over the world. All over the world. So leave in the comments below, where are you watching from, and please repost this, share this on your Facebook wall, Twitter, Google, not Google. Can you do Google? I guess you can do Google. But Pinterest. I have a Kitafit account on Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube. I mean, anywhere. Just look it up. Try to connect with me, because I love to shout you guys out. I love to dedicate videos directly to you. I love you so much. And as I always say, stand in your light, stand in your truth, and above all else, be a warrior. I love you guys so much. Happy 4th of July. Bye. Mwah.